Hi, welcome back to Grow New Plants. So today I'm inside the greenhouse. It's raining outside, or it's been raining off and on, so I just came inside the greenhouse to film today. Today I'm going to plant some Chinese pistache trees. And I've done these before, and I think I ended up losing them. I can't remember what happened. I ended up losing them. But one of the big things with Chinese pistache trees, and I'm going to show you some of the seeds here. And I harvested these last fall. I've stored them in the refrigerator. And then I've been soaking them since yesterday, and as you can see, they're already starting to bust open. See if I can get you a good close-up of that. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are already starting to bust open. So there's a big thing on harvesting these seeds, is that when the seeds come out of the tree, you'll have some that are red colored and some that are blue colored. The blue colored is the ones that you want. And I'm gonna post a link up here. It's an old video I did on testing that, where I actually did cut tests on red ones and blue ones, and almost all the red ones were empty inside. The blue ones were nice and viable inside, so they worked really well. So basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come through here and I'm gonna pick out the best ones that I can and just push them down in there about a ½ inch or so below the ground. And then I'm doing these in 32 cell Rootmaker trays. And then I've also got my seed starter mix, which I'll put a link up at the top for that too. So you'll have two links up there, one for the how to do the seed test for these things, and one how to do the soil mix. And I've pre-moistened my soil, which helps. I think it helps. I know that it helps. It just keeps them it helps the plants start taking water better, or the soil takes water better. If you let this soil with the peat moss in it dry out too much, it won't absorb water anymore. So I pre-moisten it. It just makes them a whole lot easier to water in. And then this video is also going to be a complete video, so I'm not going to post this until I have trees actually germinated. So anyway, I won't bore you anymore with this. So the one thing that I'm going to do here, I'll tell you, I'll just put the rest of these in and then I'll cut that part out. Okay, so I got these all planted in here. And then the last thing I want to do is I'll just put a little bit of extra soil across the top where I got all these divots. And I'll come in there and I'll fill those in. Nice and gentle. You don't want the soil packed super tight, but you want it at least firm enough that when the roots start coming out, they're not making contact with air, because air will kill the tips of the roots prematurely. And then I've got my new Flexzilla hose, which I really like. I've got this inside the greenhouse. And then I got my 1 gallon a minute dram fog nozzle. And then I just water them in. So I don't know, I'm guessing it's gonna slow down. We've had really nice warm weather this spring, but then we've got 4 or 5 days going where we're getting a lot of rain, and the temperatures are going to actually get back down in the 40s, highs in the 60s, but I'll keep the greenhouse closed. I had the sides up earlier. I rolled the sides back down yesterday, and when I shut the door, the greenhouse is getting up to like 80 degrees. I think it's at 70 now. If I shut the doors, it'll get back up to 80 degrees. So that should still be warm enough to get these things started to germinate. So I'm hoping within a month, these things ought to be germinated, making little trees at least. Okay, welcome back. So it has been 11 weeks since I planted these Chinese pistachios, and they're doing great. They look wonderful. I think I counted them. I think I got 19 out of 32, which is not bad. I don't know, that's probably around 60–65% germination rate. And that's fine. You know, I always plant more than what I need anyway, so that's fine. So we're gonna get them up potted into the 1 gallon Rootmaker pots. I'm gonna move the camera in, and I'm gonna show you something on the roots on the bottoms of these things. It's a real good description of what these things do in these Rootmaker containers. So we'll move in and then we'll pot some of them up. Okay, so I don't know how well this is gonna show on the camera. Hopefully it will. Hopefully I can zoom in enough. But if you look, so I can do this without dumping them all out. You look right here, man, there's just tons of little tiny roots that have grown out of the bottom of these things. And you'll see it even better when I pull them out of the containers. But I just wanted to show you what that looks like through the containers. So we'll go ahead and grab one here. They're still pretty wet, but you see there, it's got all the roots on these are kind of brown. The tips are white, but then they turn brown pretty quick. But that thing is just completely full of roots. So we'll take one of these and plant it back down about the same depth as normal. I'm not going to plant all these up on camera. I'm going to do like 6 of them, I think, and I'll plant all the rest of them up on camera. I just wanted to kind of give you a look at some of what some of them look like, what the root systems look like, what they look like potted up. So this is going to make a great tree. All these come out really good. I'm tickled to death with these. We'll pick out some of these bigger ones. Usually I like to let these things dry out a little bit before I pull them out, but these are still coming out good. I mean, look how full that root system is. All the way around. And then the little tips are white. Then once they get pruned, then they just start spreading out and make just tons of roots everywhere. So very nice, very happy with that. So this is a tree that it seems like it varies in popularity. Like it'll go through stages where it'll be a real popular tree and then no one's planting them at all again. But it's a cool tree, and it's a fast growing tree. It's a relatively healthy tree. You know, it doesn't have a lot of diseases or anything like that. That one was a little drier. It pulled out a little bit easier, but again, still just completely full of roots. But I always like these trees, so hopefully other people like them and I can sell a few of them. I got 19 of them, so, and I'm probably going to put half of them into the Rootmaker containers because I'm starting to run out of space. If you watch my videos much, you can see back there I'm running out of space to keep stuff in. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to plant them up into the Rootmaker containers, and then I'm going to take some of them and I'll plant them up. Again, beautiful root systems on them. Some of them I'm going to take and go ahead and plant straight into little cheap 1 gallon containers, and then once they get, you know, another foot or so of growth on them, then I'll just sell those for relatively cheap. Somebody wants a small tree that they can get for cheap money, a small healthy tree that they can get, and if they're willing to start with a small tree to grow it out, then that'll be perfect for somebody like that. So I'll go ahead and do one more of these on camera. And let's see, that's probably the biggest one I can see right there. So well, we'll take this one. Again, root system's holding together beautifully. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. That'll be enough. And then I'll plant the rest of them up off camera. I've got a couple other trees that are ready. All these seem to hit at the same time, so everything becomes ready at the same time, so I get a real busy section of time where I'm up planting pots. So anyway, so that's come out pretty good. So we've got 5 of them planted up, so I guess I got 14 left still to plant up back there. So I'll get all these potted up off camera, but anyway, and I do this sometimes, you know, I'll do my videos, I'll post them, planting them, and then I'll come back and do a follow-up. This one, I try to do a couple here and there where I just do the whole thing in one video. So this one, you're seeing from the start to the finish. And then if you go back into the first video, I talk about the seeds, you know, collecting the seeds, that you got to make sure you get the blue seeds to get good germinating seeds. And then I think there's going to be a link in that part of the video to where I did the cut tests and everything on how to pick those seeds out. So I'll get these watered in, get the rest of these planted up. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.